పాత కార్ కొత్తగా ఉందా?
చాలా కొత్తగా ఉంది. అమ్మ ఏమంటుందంటే లోపలికి వెళ్ళబుద్ధి కావట్లేదంట.
ఏమ్మా
అవును మరి అంత క్లీన్గా ఉంటే ఎట్లా ఎక్కుతారా?
What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to Two Brother Vlogs. What we are doing is we are getting the cars and bikes cleaned by a professional service at home. So they use steam. We've got this car cleaned. I'll show you the inside. This car was actually genuinely dirty on the inside. Hi bro, peace. But they've done a fabulous job to an extent that this car looks almost brand new. I will show you the other car. They actually just started doing it. We want to get all the bikes done as well. So what we are getting done is a nice spa service for our vehicles. We contacted this brand called Spardex on Google basically. As you've seen the car, there's another car which is being done. We're getting 2 cars and 4 bikes getting done. So this is the amount of filth which has just come out of the mud flap, if you can see at the bottom. So we're getting a basic service done on the cars. They're doing all the mats, the interior, the exterior cleanup. We'll show you the condition of the bikes. The reason why this is very important is because your vehicles have to be maintained in a more than a good condition, because those are your lifeline, right? So in the past week, we had very torrential downpour, heavy extreme rains, and we were riding the bikes a bit in that. And if you see the bikes, they are very, 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 very dirty. We wanted to get a pure clean wash, and I was actually looking for somebody who can come home and do it, so that the bikes don't get dirty after the clean on the bike on my way home. So we found these guys. We'll get these bikes cleaned. Let's see how they perform. This is the next day. Srujan and I got busy during the wash, and I went for my flight. Srujan went to his office. So I have seen how the bikes were clean. Srujan hasn't. So this is going to be his genuine reaction at how clean the bikes or how dirty the bikes still are.
వావ్, ఐ ఆల్రెడీ సీ Truxton. నైస్.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Srujan, you haven't seen one thing.
నైస్.
Give me this phone. Look at the wheel of the pani.
ఇట్స్ లైక్ బ్రాండ్ న్యూ.
Now, it's like showroom condition again, huh?
బెటర్ దాన్ షోరూమ్ కండిషన్ ఐ వుడ్ సే.
Like, they have done a fabulous job. They have genuinely done a fabulous job at it. So, I don't think you've seen your rim that clean after in a very, very long time.
టు బి ఆనెస్ట్ నో.
Okay, the reason why we kind of chose not to go out and get the bikes washed and for somebody to come home and do it is because the bikes were washed in their places where they're standing right now. So there's no dirt, filth coming in from the road when we are actually coming back from service, because they'll still be kind of thoda wet. So when you're coming home, the what do you call?
The gunk will again accumulate on the
because
bike.
of the wet tires and stuff. So because it's done at home and the bikes have been dried, I'm sure they're going to stay this beautiful till the time we go out. Irony of our life, there are times when we are young, we have time, and we don't have the money to have things like this. And when you grow older, when you can afford things like this, you don't have time to bloody take them out.
There was a small meme, right? When you are young, you don't have money, but you have a lot of energy
Yeah.
and time. When you get at our age, close to 30s, you have money, but you have money and energy, but you don't have time. When you get old, you have money and time, but you don't have energy. Right now, as we speak, there are 2 bikes which are due for its service, which is the Multi and the Panigale. I have no idea when we are going to give it, and also we need to change the tire of the Truxton. The tire is completely dead. The front and the rear both are wearing out. Annually, you will be spending close to 10 to 15,000 rupees. Service done depends on the manufacturer. It might go higher or lower, but that's the ballpark figure usually.
Again, so what the different manufacturers have done is, like, let's say in case of a Ducatis are meant to be a little more expensive when you compare to this. The annual service of this is about 10. This is about between 12 to 18. That costs per service around 6 to 8. So end of the day, you come back around the same figure, plus about a 20% premium for premium brands like Ducatis.
And also, when you're talking about spares here, they're consumables, right? For example, you will be changing your brake pads. On most of the bikes, we have Brembos, except for the Honda there. So these Brembo brake pads, they cost you close to 20 to 24,000 rupees per set for the front tire, which I'm talking about, and that is expensive. Alternatives, you can go to third-party manufacturers and get the same spares from them as well. That will drastically reduce the rate to close to 15 to 16,000 rupees. Don't quote me on this. But if you go for any other third party, for example, EBC,
Yes.
EBC, that will cost you close to 6 to 7,000 rupees. So you can save a lot of money there. But do I recommend it? It depends on how you ride, because we tour, at times we use EBC braking. But if you want high performance, don't compromise. Brembos are the best.
Again, similar topic, another consumable big factor is your tires. On an average, depends on the power of your vehicle, tires wear out pretty fast. I would say on this bike, on the Multistrada, the rear was worn out in less than 12,000 kilometers. And when I spoke to people, they said 12,000 is a very good mileage, which I got personally. So now on this, I have the Vredestein, which is kind of Apollo tires. It's costed me half of what Pirelli costs. Performance is about 70% of Pirelli. So would, again, for my purposes, speeds up to 150, 160, which I have done, they're fine. Would I go for the same tires again, maybe for this bike and that bike, but not for this bike? This bike is meant to be aggressive and fast. It will not be able to gather that much traction out of those tires. The availability of spares is kind of limited. Yes, you have showrooms in the country, but if any major part of it goes, it has to be imported. Case of Thruxton from UK, this from Italy, that from Japan. I was getting it. Okay, so getting these parts, procuring them for spares takes time at times. So you have to be extra cautious. You have to be vigilant, order spares in advance, and also one big major concern, especially when it comes to the European bikes, are made with pig fat. The wiring, rats get attracted to them. These don't. This does. It was bitten away. The ABS line on this was bitten away by rats once. This doesn't have pig fat in them. That has. So after that happened is when we built the shed. So if you have any European bike in your garage, make sure it is secure, away from rats. We've been having these bikes for a few years, so we've been through different showrooms and we understand the problems what we as customers are facing, right? Ducati Hyderabad has a big issue when it comes to a technician. They are unable to keep a technician in the showroom for a good amount of time, at least in Hyderabad. Pan India, I'm not aware. In Hyderabad, we have had those issues. Triumph was good, but of late, I feel that they are facing a similar issue. Problem with that brand is quite different. Honda, lack of awareness. People, I feel that the badge doesn't hold the same value, let's say, as a Ducati or a Triumph, because they also sell substantially cheaper vehicles. So somebody will be very surprised at, let's say, somebody owning a Honda bike which is costing close to 20 odd lakhs. Similarly, when you go for a Honda service for these premium bikes, you end up spending that 7 to 10,000 rupees. People are shocked that why does the service of a bike cost so much? When you compare to the other premium bikes, it is less, but that awareness of Honda superbikes is still kind of small in India.
While owning a superbike, you have to consider two things. First is fixed and next is variable cost. So in fixed cost, you have your EMI, you have your insurance, which is 15 to 20,000 rupees, and you have your service, again 15,000 rupees. So that is almost 30 to 35,000 rupees is your fixed cost.
Plus your EMIs.
Plus your EMIs. And when you come to variable cost, it's how much you take your bike out to a drive and your tires and the consumables. So tires, again, every 10 to 12,000 kilometers you have to change your tires. That will cost you close to 40,000 rupees a set. I know that's a lot, but you can't help it. And consumables, if you are good with your braking, you have to change your brake pads again every 15,000 kilometers, give or take.
So less than that. So it depends on the power of the bikes, right? The more powerful bikes, you could run through the brakes much faster because you tend to accelerate, brake faster. So the brakes get worn faster, your tires get worn faster. Another one big bad habit is a lot of people I've seen ride their rear brakes.
Yes.
So like this bike, I have not yet changed the rear brakes. So it's like that. It's just, the people who do it, I've seen people finishing up rear brakes in 2,500 kilometers. But yeah, you should be a little more careful.
So tires 40,000 rupees. brake pads close to 15 to 20,000 rupees depending upon the manufacturer, and every 25,000 kilometers or 30,000 kilometers you have to change your chain sprocket, so that will cost you close to 20,000 rupees again. So if you consider, if you ride for like 20,000 kilometers in a year, you will be spending close to 80 to 90,000 rupees give or take annually. So to own a super bike annually, including the variable and the fixed cost, is close to 1.3 lakh rupees.
Again, this is not considering your EMIs.
Yes.
Plus, if you have any EMIs on top of this.
Oh God, when I calculate it like that, it hurts.
Yep. So more than this, right? When you start talking about vehicles, when you buy or when you are on two wheels are predominantly unsafe. They're not stable machines. So you have to protect yourself when you are always on two wheels, so that your family is feeling that safety net envelope of safeness. Talking about helmets, we have a few helmets here. They range in price from about 5,500 to close to about 80,000 rupees, and also in between. The reason why helmets are so expensive is because of the materials used. Okay, very genuine answer is, will 5,000 rupee helmet save you in case of a fall? Yes, it will. Will a 70,000 helmet save you in case of fall? Yes, it will.
Definitely it should.
But the thing is, the amount of safety or the amount of research which goes into that more costlier helmets is substantially more. The materials used are much better. So you are a little more safer than a smaller helmet. Definitely, 5,000 rupees helmet is way better than no helmet. So you can't put a price for your head, right? Your head is what keeps
Most
you,
important.
yeah, head, body, whatever. Your safety is of paramount importance. There is no compromise when it comes to your personal safety. Invest in very good gear. More than the bike, first gear, then bike.
The big ones, which are
So again,
right here.
we have used even basic shoes. We still use them, but when we are touring, we use this.
Utmost protection, can't compromise on this. So this is close to 20,000 rupees. It doesn't depend on the brand. I always look for the protection and the value for money. So this is by TCX Royal Enfield. I really don't mind rocking any other brand. Even if it's a BMW TCX, I don't mind, as long as it's giving me good protection with value for money. So this is for 20,000 rupees, and for 20,000 rupees you don't get a better shoe than this.
And similarly, right, we have a lot of Indian manufacturers who provide good quality gloves. This is my second pair of Viterra. My old pair must be lying around, yes, right here. It started tearing off. The reason why I personally am recommending this particular brand is because I sweat a lot. I have very sweaty palms. Unfortunately, fortunately, yuck as it says, but I have sweaty palms. I have never ever used a glove for more than 6 months. Because of my sweaty palms, this happens to all my gloves. They tear from the inside as well. Viterra is the only glove which I could use for 4 years before I recently changed this. I've worn this just once so far.
Whatever we have right now is slightly on the premium side. So we used all the Indian brands, the Rhinox, the Viterras, the BBG gear, everything for like good 4 to 5 years, and eventually we upgraded. So I made a video, went to Dynamic Riders, shot a video there, which is the best value for money, which you can buy as a beginner rider. So go there, check it out, and you will understand which gear to invest first. But eventually, yeah, you have to upgrade yourself and upgrade your helmet as well. So what I mean by upgrading the helmet, the inner liners of a helmet will wear off.
So talking about that, right, everything has a shelf life. So any helmet, talking about students premium high-end helmet, generally the shelf life or of the outer shell is close to 10 years. But the inner lining, because of your sweat absorption and all these, they become saggy, they become soggy, they become, because you keep washing them, removing them, they become loose over a period of time. So the inner liners, if you wear them regularly, 2-3 years, change them. That will keep your helmet almost new, tight fitting. A snug fit is always very important on a helmet. And again, if you see all these over the top additions which we have added to mount our GoPros, I've seen people using M-Seal to seal them permanently. Don't do that. The reason, again, I'll just tell you, we personally use only the double-sided tape. Because let's say you fall and you clip against something, if you have something like as strong as an M seal, they don't come off and your head might get twisted in very bad angles, which you don't want. You want them to break off, so like that. So if that happens, this thing will chip off, your head is not going to be turned in strange angles. Basically two things, right, for protecting your vehicle. You have physical protection like this, and you have other stuff which can protect your paint. In that also we have two types. One is PPF, which is paint protection film, which is on this bike, and there is ceramic coating, which is on the Thruxton. So I'll show you the differences over due course of time, what we've observed regarding both these. Both of these have their advantages, disadvantages for sure. Physical protection is really good for bikes. It is important for especially big heavy bikes, because in case of a fall, nothing happens to the bike. You're protected with your gear, the bike is protected with these. Coming to small things, small protections, let's say from your day-to-day exposure to the sun and all these, we have paint protection film, which is on all these three bikes here. The advantage of this is peelable. You can remove this, install a new one, it will be brand new again. The paint inside is not disturbed, it doesn't affect the paint. But the problem with PPF is, again, what is PPF? It is similar to your screen guard. There's a layer of entire screen guard on your bike. So coming close, if you come to a very close angle and see, you have these edge lines, right? So at times they actually bubble up, maybe because of age, because of lack of proper maintenance of them. It is a little visible on this bike if you come here. So yeah, you can at times have such problems where they start peeling. Most of these are given you warranty of multiple years, so you can go to the service center, get it done, but that takes time. But this is the small disadvantage of this, or should I say the only disadvantage, the chances of it peeling. When you talk about ceramic coating is like a small
Higher-end Teflon coat.
high-end polish, that's it. So what it does, it basically molds into your paint. It doesn't add any thickness to the paint, but it basically adds more shine to your vehicle. And still, over due course of time, I have observed that it fades off. And you can see here, these are not visible on the other bikes. These are basically stone chips from the road. They do definitely damage the paint. So this doesn't happen when you have PPF. This bike has no PPF. I plan to get it done because this is my bay and this is going to be with me forever. So this bikes have it. There's no problem on this at all. This is how you protect your bike. That is how you protect yourself. Okay, sneak peek after the cleanup, after our video, we wanted to just show you this. The amount of filth which is here all around is from one car, is from the i20, from the cleaning session that what was done yesterday. So we need to clean all this up and also start our bikes now because it wasn't been started. You guys want to listen to it? I'm sure you do. All these are cold stars of all our bikes.
So let's take 15 to 20,000 rupees. Always.